Hello, my name is Katie, and welcome to my channel, Duck Potatoe's World of Wonderful Fiber Arts. And this is my monthly video vlog, Created to Create, episode 50. This is the July 2026 episode, and I am so excited to be here. You guys, it has been a lot of effort to get here today, I tell you. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back and watching my little slice of the internet here. And if this is your first time, then welcome. I'm so glad to have you. I have a lot of things to talk about, some things to show off, and some exciting plans that I'm, excited to share. That's a lot of the same word over and over again. But I am excited. That's the best word for it. So let's get right into what has been going on in my crazy world lately. So, for starters, I am not wearing anything knit. It has been 89 to 95 degrees here and sweltering, like, I don't even know what the percentage humidity is. I swear it's like, must be 99, because I guess if it's 100, it's raining. I don't know. It's been swampy, just swampy. So I'm not wearing any knits. I haven't worn any knits all month, I don't think, because it's just been too darn hot. It's not like, sometimes I'll carry a light cardigan because when I'm inside it can be cold because the air conditioning makes it kind of cold. But I don't have a great knit cardigan for that. That's something I need to work on. I have like a jersey knit cardigan, just a store-bought one. That's what I usually wear, but it would be fun to have a knit one that I made myself. But so far my knit cardigans are wool, and they're either worsted or bulky, and they're too warm to wear even in the air conditioned. So not been wearing a lot of hand knits this month, but that's pretty typical for East Texas this time of year. So not going to worry about it. I do have a couple of finished objects to share with you. First off, I have the simple thing. Let's see if I can read my notes from way over here. This is a pattern by Melina Brell, and I knit it in Nordic Star yarns, and the colorway is Brio con Fuoco, and I need to block it, but I finished the knitting. And this is just a simple garter stitch little scarf. I knit it on a whim as something to show a class that I was doing at the Mineola League of the Arts, and to have something simple to knit on during the DFW North Texas yarn crawl. And I just finally got around to finishing it. I like this pattern a lot. It should get a little bit longer and thinner when I block it, but I haven't gotten around to blocking. I need to block this, and I also need to still block that Stephen West doodler that I did. I finished it, I don't know, 2 months ago now. I finished it a while ago, and it still hasn't been blocked. So that's on my to-do list. I'll explain to you what I have been doing when it comes to washing yarn later, and you'll see why I haven't gotten around to blocking anything. But done. And then I also finished my little rosebud, what's it called? Seamless tunic dress top by OGE Knitwear Designs. So I started this last month for one of our pastor's wives who's having a baby. In fact, you guys, she should have had the baby today. I need to check the grapevine and find out how that went. They did have some complications, and so there was a planned cesarean delivery at Children's Hospital in Dallas, I think. Or if not at Children's Hospital, then at some hospital in Dallas with a NICU. So I believe that I probably would have heard if things did not go well. So I'm trusting in the Lord that things went well today, but I do need to actually follow up on that. But I knit this for the baby shower, and I started it the day before the baby shower, so obviously it wasn't done. But I worked on it during the baby shower, and I did finish it about a week ago. I need to give it to her, obviously. I meant to give it to her before now, but I kept forgetting. So I guess on the upside, I have it to show you. But I've knit several of these. I like this pattern. This was knit with the some of the yarn I won from my Woolly Wednesday win a couple months ago from Lady Bird Love's YouTube channel. And said it was a DK weight yarn, but this came out huge. And the pattern I've knit several times before in DK weight yarn, so I don't know if the difference is just because this DK weight yarn is acrylic and the stuff I've used before was either wool or a cotton, and that made the difference, or what. But it's the smallest size that you can knit, and it came out enormous. So there's no way this newborn is going to wear this. This looks to me more like 6 month size, 3 to 6 month size, maybe even bigger than that. But that's okay. She'll wear it whenever she can fit in it. I did make one single modification, and that is I added a ruffle, and I love this ruffle. It is a 5-to-1 ruffle, so I increased for every stitch on the hem of this dress, I increased 5 stitches to make this little standout ruffle. And yeah, so that is for my friend's baby. And those are the only 2 things that I finished in the last month. I have made a lot of progress on stuff, so that brings us to unfinished objects. So the first unfinished object that I'm going to talk about is the Hornet doll, the plushie that I'm supposed to be crocheting for my son. Was supposed to be for his birthday, the end of April. And yeah, I haven't done anything on it. I don't even have it to show you tonight because there's nothing to see there, nothing done. So I need to work on that soon. But yeah, well, he'll just have to wait. It is really tight crocheting, and I have been having some neck issues, and I just haven't had the energy and the strength and the pain freeness that's required to crochet on that. So don't have it to show. That's the Hornet. But I do have progress on the Wedding Peacock by M. Mario. So this is my sister's wedding veil, and I have lots of progress. I am not exactly sure. My goal is 1 round a day. And I got a little ahead, and I was trying to stay ahead, but I know for a fact I have not worked on this since Saturday, and today is Tuesday. So I am at least 4 days behind schedule from where I was, but I was ahead of schedule, so it probably all comes out in the wash. Either way, I've made a lot of progress. I think I've done maybe 2 inches on this, and since every round is 900 or more stitches, 2 inches is a lot of progress. And I am so excited to show it to you. It doesn't really look like much on the needles. So that's kind of common with lace. Lace doesn't really shine till you open it up and get to see it. But this is what it looks like right now. Kind of makes me think of like a spider sack, like an egg sack. But you can see here I have 2 lifelines in, and this bottom lifeline that's kind of the gold one, I actually I did a couple of rounds before I put that lifeline in, so I've done all of that this month. So yes, I realize this is underwhelming, doesn't look like much, but it is coming along, and that's the important thing. And I'm still on track to finish it kind of mid-September. Now I'm a little bit worried about this month coming up because I'm going to be out of town for like a week and a half, and I cannot knit. Everyone's just like, well, just take it with you and knit it here or knit it there. I can't take this with me and knit it anywhere. I have to be sitting at my desk with the pattern in front of my face and no distractions and lots of lighting, and I can't be tired. It requires just too much focus. So I can't just take it along with me somewhere. So I need to really work on keeping it going or getting ahead of schedule, maybe before I leave town. But again, it's coming along really nicely. I did drop a couple of stitches, but I've been able to pick them back up successfully, so that was exciting. But yeah, I don't know if you can see any of the peacock eyelets down here, and then there's like a fan, just a lace column section there. Anyway, I am going to put it away for now, but it is coming along, you guys. I have kept my promise. I have focused on it lots. I'm very excited about it. I'm pretty sure my sister's going to love it. Every time I've talked to her about it, she's been super excited. So, yay to that. I keep it in this little satiny bag because every little thing snags this wedding veil. My fingers, if my skin is rough, it snags this wedding veil. So I have to wash my hands, put on lotion, and just be super, super careful. I have to make sure I'm not wearing buttons or I take off all my jewelry off my hands to knit it. Like, it's super sensitive to every little thing. Definitely, if I ever make another one of these, it's going to have to be like for a daughter-in-law or something, because I don't think I love too many people enough to make another one. But it's coming along. The next thing I want to show you is my pick and mix crochet along, because that is really coming to the ends of things. So we just, this week, in fact, Monday would have been the 29th of June, was the official last day, like last live for the Pick and Mix Cal with Lady Bird Loves, Hadija, that's her channel. And so we started our border. Now I have 2 weeks to finish the border. So I will show you where I'm at and talk to you about my plans. So I have already seamed the 2 triangles together. And so I am not really sure offhand. Well, yes, I am actually. So this is a triangle 1 seamed to a triangle 5, and this is the center seam where I seamed my 2 big triangles together. So I've already done that. So what we did was, when we made this, we had 2 identical triangles. We crocheted 2 triangles a week, more or less, for 25 weeks, seamed them together so that we then had 2 large triangles. Then we used a random number generator to tell us how many times we were going to rotate triangle number 2, and then we seamed triangle number 2 to triangle number 1. Excuse me, I have a dog that wants to be a movie star. So I already have the 2 rotated and seamed together, and then we're supposed to do a single crochet border in any color that we had left over. And then the instructions were to do any stitch we wanted, as long as it's not a stitch we've already used in the blanket, as the official border in our border color. Well, I still have quite a lot of yarn left over. Like, I did my single crochet border in this already, and I still have all this yarn left over. So I think what I'm going to do, we haven't done camel stitch, so I think I'm going to make a camel stitch border using at least 1 round of every solid color that I have. So you can see I've already started, I've done my single crochet border, and here you can see I've started my first row of camel stitch border in the peacock, and I'm going to do a camel stitch border in each of my solid colors just to use up a little more yarn before I start my official border in my border color, which is the same thing I used to seam it up. It's that variegated color there. So I'm gonna do some extra rounds on my border because I want to, and then I will be done. So I have to have it done by July 13th. That's the official end date for the crochet along if you want to be eligible to win prizes. So Hadija does all kinds of fun things with her crochet alongs. But the way she has it is, for every comment that you do in her community page, you get your name, like 1 entry. And then, of course, for finishing it, you get an entry. So she'll put all the people's entries on a spinny wheel and then pick a prize winner. So I don't remember what the prize is. I don't know if she told us. But mostly I just like the challenge of doing it. I have learned a ton of stuff through this crochet along. And pardon me for that. I have learned a ton of stuff through this crochet along, and I am excited to get it finished. It's going to be a good baby blanket size sort of lapgan when I get done. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. I may give it away. I know several people having babies, so I may pick somebody and give it away. I haven't decided yet. But that is my pick and mix crochet along. And yeah, that is lots of fun. I have also made quite a bit of progress on my tabernacle blanket. So some of you know that my mom had knit a blanket using the colors that the Bible describes the linens and veils and things that the tabernacle were woven with. So purple, blue, and scarlet, basically. And she had bought some yarn and then didn't like how it was coming out in the blanket she was making, so she bought different yarn and then gave me this yarn. And so I decided to crochet the Bertha blanket by Emma L. See if I can read what I wrote. I thought I would Buttram. Emma L. Buttram. I love the pattern. And her pattern I think calls for 5 colors, and I'm just using, well, really I'm using 4 because I have the purple, the scarlet, and the blue. And then I also have yellow, like a gold, that I'm going to use for the seaming and the border and stuff. But I have made lots of blocks, so I don't remember which blocks I've already showed you. So I'm just going to show you all the ones I have so far. So this is block number 1. And all of these are red. There are 4 of them, and I have all 4 done. And then this is block number 2. And I have 2 purple ones, and the rest are blue. I think there's 6 total. But they all look, their pattern's the same. I think this block I actually had to add an extra row because this one was coming out really small compared to everything else. But that's the only one I've had that problem with so far. Everything else seems to be coming out more on par. This is block number 3. I really enjoyed this block quite a lot. And they're all red as well. I think there were 6 of them. They're all red. And I have gotten done several block number 4s. And some are purple and some are red. I'll show you a purple one. So I haven't done any blue. Oh yeah, I've done some blue blocks. Some of block number 2 was purple and some was blue. So this is block number 4. And this is where I'm at. I've only done 2 block number 4s. And I think I have a partial one on the hook in there. But yeah. Oh no, I just have that red one's block number 1. I only have 1 block number 4 done. This is right. I was carrying around a block number 1. I keep it with everything else just to kind of check for size. I forgot I did that. But there we go. So that is I call it my tabernacle blanket, but the pattern is Bertha. And it is coming along quite nicely. And let's see what else. Oh, I've cast on something new since I saw you guys last because I don't have enough, apparently, going on in my world. I felt like it was time to cast on something new. Actually, that's not entirely true. Several of the ladies that I knit with on a regular basis, we all bought the same project at the East Texas Fiber Festival to start together. And that was several months ago, but we have had a hard time getting together. We call ourselves the Super Secret Knitters, SSK, because we never know when we're going to meet next. Theoretically, we try to meet once a month. Sometimes we're real good about it. Sometimes we skip a month or 2. But we have met the last 2 months, I think, so yay. But we did all start our SSK project that not all of us are doing it, but those of us that are doing it started our project recently. So I have not gotten terribly far. It is a 5 section shawl. It's a 5-color shawl. It's called the Super Swirl Shawl by Trudy Fedorko. I'm going to write it on the screen because I don't really know how to say that. But we bought these kits or like these sets at East Texas Fiber Festival of 5 colors. And that is the beginning of that. So I'm not going to dig out all these balls to show you because they're wound so nicely and I don't want to mess them up. But I did cast that on. And I will be knitting this at the pace of my friends. So that means, thank goodness, I don't think I have to be in a real big hurry. Because the other 2 ladies that are knitting it with me are newer knitters. And so they don't usually run through things too quickly. Now, my mom is knitting this too. But she got tired of waiting for us to start. And she's already like on section 4 out of 5. So she's ahead of us. But that's okay. But that is my new cast on since I talked to you last. And then I have been weaving on my scarf. So if you're interested in seeing how that's going, I have a whole playlist called Weaving with Bee, where I am documenting in real time the process of weaving a very simple plain weave scarf on Beatrix, my 2-shaft floor loom. And I was under the impression that the weaving was faster than dressing the loom, which I think is technically true. but it is taking me longer to weave than I seem to remember it taking. And I am using the same pattern that I did a previous scarf already, the same yarn, it's just different colors. And I'm having a lot more trouble this time keeping my set even, and my edges are fine on the left, but awful on the right. Sometimes I do real good for maybe a half an inch or an inch, and then it all goes to hell in a handbasket. But that is all part of the learning process. I'm not going to stress out about it. It's just a scarf for me. If the ends and edges are not perfect, then c'est la vie. If the weave is a little bit uneven, c'est la vie. It's a learning process, and I am not perfect, and my work is not perfect. Early on, I know lots of my knitting, especially, I wasn't very happy with in the early years. Sometimes I look back on my projects and I'm like, oh, I didn't do that quite right. So I'm sure I will improve with time. But it is funny because I feel like this scarf is doing so much more poorly than the first one I did, which I felt like went really well. And I'm like, they are exactly the same. I dressed the loom the same, the set and the EPIs is the same, the yarn is the same, it's just different colors, but it's the same kind, same brand, same everything. But it's, I don't know, is what it is. So if you want to see that, it's still on the loom. I think I've spent about 3 hours weaving on that scarf so far, and I might be halfway done with it. You can go take a look at the channel. The videos are long because I do them in real time. I don't speed them up. And sometimes I play classical music along with it, and sometimes I just do a little almost, what is that acronym? ASMR? You just hear the sounds of the loom clicking and clacking and beating, and I guess me breathing. I don't always put music on there, but sometimes I do. So you don't have to watch the whole thing, but you can go and maybe fast forward and you can see what that is looking like. Advent. So this is your warning. I asked you guys if you wanted the Advent project that I am designing to be a mystery or not. And y'all were split 50-50. Half of you want to be surprised and half of you want to see what I'm doing. So if you do not want to see my Advent design, now is the time to close your eyes or turn your head away. You can listen to me talk if you want, or you can skip ahead. I don't know exactly how many minutes ahead you need to skip, but I will put it on the screen right here. Skip ahead to this number in the timestamp, and that will skip all the Advent stuff so you won't see any spoilers. All right, now I have been working on my design, and I am going to show you what I have got so far. So, all right, this is what I have so far. I am working on day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I am working on day 11. This is the large size. So I've written out the whole pattern. I've got it all worked out in my mind, and I've got it all worked out on paper. And now I'm literally knitting my own pattern to make sure that I didn't say anything crazy or have anything that's obviously wrong. So this one is a scrappy version. I am making it entirely out of scraps, fingering weight scraps from my stash. But you can do a few different things with this, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But you can see here, I just threw 20-gram scraps in a bag, and I just reach in and grab one, nice and random. I want to say I love this Delique bag. Okay, you can look now. The Advent shawl is gone. You won't have to see any spoilers. I am going to talk about it a little bit more. So the idea is really easy knitting because during Advent, I'm going to be reading from a book to you. And I want you to be able to knit without having to think about it too much while I'm reading so you can listen. So it is not, this is not a skill builder. You're not going to be learning fancy new stitches. You're not going to be doing anything terribly complicated. It's pretty easy peasy knitting. The most difficult thing you'll be having to do every day is figure out where to pick up your stitches for that day's knitting. And I'm going to include a video showing you that every day in the Advent. So, well, maybe not every day, but every time it's new, there's something new to show you. So my goal is to have your Advent video include, some kind of Advent verse for the day, the opening of any Advent calendar that I may be opening. So I've bought an Advent calendar. I've ordered one. It's coming from Australia. I actually found one that is somebody's de-stash. So it's an advent calendar that someone else purchased and then opened and never used. So they decided to sell it on Etsy, like resell it. They're not going to use it, and I decided to buy it. So it's not really a surprise because I've seen the colors, but you all know me. I've already forgotten what I ordered, like what it looks like. I remember it had silk and wool, and that was one of the things I was excited about because I love silk blend yarn. But when it gets here, I'm going to give it to a friend of mine with some bags and have her put it in the bags for me in the order that she thinks it would be pretty to work up. And then I'll have an advent calendar to open. So I'm going to give you a verse, open my advent calendar. I will also have the scrappy one. So my mom and I both made scrappy calendars that we're going to exchange. So last year, she and I made scrappy advent calendars out of our own scraps. This year, we made scrappy advent calendars out of our own scraps, but we're going to trade. So she's going to use my scraps and I'm going to get to knit with her scraps. And that will be fun because I know a lot of her yarn, but I don't know all of her yarn. So I really will be surprised when I get to open that one. So open whatever. I don't think I'll have any more advent calendars, but I might. I'll open my advent calendar. Then I will give you instructions that you need for my design for the day. So telling you, we'll walk through what to do to get you started for the knitting for the day. And then I will read the chapter from 25 Christmas Myths and What the Bible Really Says. So it should be a fairly lengthy Advent video. I'm thinking those chapters are a little longer than, well, quite a bit longer than what I read for Advent last year. So it may be a lengthy video. It's a video. It doesn't expire or go bad. You can listen to it at your leisure. But that is my plan for Advent. I know that it is July, but Christmas in July is a thing, and I am excited about it, and I'm planning it out and starting it now so that I'm not scrambling and stressed out in December trying to get hour-long videos out to you guys every day. So I'm working on it in advance, and I will probably be doing most of the filming and knitting in advance as well. So it may look a little warm and sunny in the videos, but that's okay. It will be there and ready for us all at Christmas. And that is what's important. Now, I will also be having some advent calendars to give away to you guys, my viewers, over the next couple of months. So be on the lookout for that as well. I think I'm going to have at least 2 and maybe 3 advent calendars to give away. So I will have more details on that as those become the shareable of the month in the next couple of months. So this is July. I'm hoping to have one to give away in August, one in September, and one in October. So that is my plan. Hopefully my plans come to fruition. If not, sometimes God has bigger and better plans, so we'll see. All right, that brings me to acquisitions. All right, so I have acquired some yarn. Most of this yarn, you guys, was orphaned. Orphaned. Can you believe that? Some abandoned yarn. Abandoned. I'm not even kidding. About half of this came from a storage unit that somebody else bought. I have a friend who knows a person who buys storage units, and they had told her she could come out there and dig around in some of the stuff because they needed to get rid of some of it. And so she told me, hey, I think they have some yarn. Do you want to come see what's out here? And I was like, sure. So we went out, dug around in their storage unit, and I got some yarn, some pretty nice yarn. And then I brought it home and locked it in the trunk of my car for about a month where it gets nice and hot so that hopefully if there was anything alive in there, it died. And then I washed it. And the first time I washed it, it still stunk. The yarn must have belonged to someone who smoked because it smelled like stale cigarettes, stale cigarette smoke. So I washed it. That didn't go well. Then it smelled like wet cigarettes, which is not a big improvement, to be honest. So I contacted my favorite yarn shop owner, Tracy Anderson of Hot Springs Fiber Company, who told me how to wash it better. And the second washing did improve the smell. So it no longer stinks. And most of it was salvageable. I had one hank. It was a DK weight sock blank. And it was, I guess, moth riddled. I had no piece is more than about 7 grams. I unraveled it and it just broke and broke and broke. So that one was pretty much a total loss. I think I tossed a handful of the 7-gram scraps into my little knit bit blanket that I make, where I put little 3 to 5 gram metered squares in a blanket. I tossed some of it in there, but mostly that one was a goner. But I did salvage quite a bit of other yarn, and I'm going to show that to you now. So after I washed it, even though it smells much better and I'm really pretty confident there aren't any little critters in there, I still stored it in a Ziploc baggie just in case. But nope, it still smells good. And I actually, most of this was either in projects or wound into cakes. So I actually unwound or frogged everything and put it on my nitty knotty to put it in the hank before I washed it. So I have handled, like, if there were bugs in it, I would have found them. I actually didn't find any evidence of bugs in any of the yarn except for that one sock blank that had so many broken bits. And I don't know if it was bugs or what was up with that, but everything else came out really clean. So I don't know for sure what all of this is. A lot of it did not have a ball band. It feels and behaves like wool. So in fact, this feels like a lot like merino wool. So I suspect that it is wool. I know you can snip a little off and burn it and see for sure, but I don't really feel the need to. I feel pretty comfortable that it is wool or maybe a wool nylon blend. But I got these are the first 4 that I'm showing. I got more than this. I got a lot. So some of this may get shared with you guys, but in the future, because I really did acquire quite a lot. So that all came from the storage unit. And here's some more that came. Some of the stuff in the storage unit did have a label. So a few of them had a label. This is one of my favorites. I absolutely love this. This is Hello Kitten Lammy Toes by Lammy Toes Shop on Etsy. It's called Macarons. I really love that color. So there's that one. And then this is a Cascade yarn, I believe. Yep, Heritage Cascade sock yarn. So definitely wool. And then this one, I also, not a big purple fan usually, but I really love this. This one is Highland Handmaids. So there we go. All of that was rescued from a storage unit. Oh, one more. This also came from the storage unit. And I don't know what this one is, and I don't think this one is wool. This is, and it's like 5 little skeins. It is very, very, feels like it's a chainette yarn. It's not your typical plied yarn, and it feels like it might be maybe a cotton or a linen or a flax. Maybe a bamboo. I'm really not sure. This one I might have to do a burn test. So if you have ever done a burn test on your yarn, I'd love for you to tell me about it in the comments, because I've got no tag and no idea what this is, but it's really pretty and I'm excited to do something with it because I like the way it feels. But yeah, so that is my reclaimed yarn. Now, remember I told you almost every single skein except for the ones with tags, I either frogged or I wound onto a nitty knotty. So how many skeins is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 skeins of yarn that I had to wind. Then I had to wash them all twice and dry them. And then I had to put the tag back on if they had a tag. So I don't know how long that took me. I was fussing with this yarn. Oh, and I left it in my car for 4 months in Ziploc in the trunk to get hot. So not 4 months, 4 weeks. So 4 weeks in the trunk, and I think it took me 3 or 4 days to get it all wound and washed. So that was quite the work, but I'm real excited about what I was able to recover. I love recycled things or reused things. I hate to waste stuff. I hate to throw out yarn if I don't have to. So excited about that. Then we had one of the ladies in another knit group that I'm in. She brought 2 big old totes of yarn up and just said she was downsizing and we could dig around in her totes and take out whatever we wanted. So of course I wound up with some yarn from that. So I found some Knit Picks yarn. I love Knit Picks. It's just, I think, Stroll. Yeah. There's a green one and a gray one and a white one, or red one. I don't know what my color is apparently. This is all Knit Picks Stroll. I love Knit Picks Stroll, so I got that from her stash. This one was one that was in her stash that was used. It was in a project that she never finished. So this was one that I also frogged out of the project, wound on my nitty natty, washed, dried, and hung. It didn't stink. I mean, she doesn't smoke, so this one was real clean. But I just like to get it out of the work, and washing it helps relax the little crinkles. You can knit with the little crinkles in it. It doesn't hurt anything. I just don't like to because I'm persnickety. And then this also came out of her stash. It was wound into a ball, like a round ball. And so I did the same thing. I put it on a nitty naughty, wound it up, washed it so it would relax. When you leave your yarn in cakes or balls, it can stretch it out. So if you aren't using your yarn, a hank is the best option. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more orphaned pieces of yarn that I gave a good home. Because I'm very good at giving orphaned yarn a home. Maybe a little too good. But yeah, so well worth the effort. I'm excited to have all of that. I probably won't keep all of that. That's a lot of yarn, and I don't have any particular plan for any of it. I just didn't want to see it go to waste. I did also buy some yarn because I have no boundaries. My oldest son is going to college. Y'all have heard me talk about that. I was in Houston with him doing some orientation for his college, and there's a yarn shop 10 minutes from his college. So I went and visited it. Nancy's Knitworks in Houston, and unfortunately, the day that I visited her, she had been broken into during the night. Someone had thrown a brick through her glass door and stolen the $3 or less that she had in her cash register. Tons of damage, and all they took was change, literally. She said all that was in the register was change. They broke her register and ruined it, and then broke her glass door and just caused her all kinds of trouble. So that was terrible for her. But she's a real sweet lady. I enjoyed sitting and chatting with her and getting to know her. And I wandered throughout her shop and did find some yarn that I couldn't live without. Oh, you guys, I found one more. This is also from my friend Judy's stash. I missed it in the bottom of the bag. Sorry, one more. But I didn't have to wash. This one was just like this. It's a little called Splash Peacock, like a little fade, sock fade. Sorry, it was in the bottom of my bag. Here we go. So this is what I bought at Nancy's Knitworks. And it is called Queensland Collection Rainbow Cakes, Self-Striping Organic Cotton. And I just thought it was pretty. And it's a little rainbow, and then the blue is like the sky. It's called Downpour is the colorway. Anyway, I got home with this, and I was like looking at different projects I could make, because it's a pretty big ball yarn. I only bought one thinking that'd be plenty. It's 200 grams. It's fingering weight yarn, 875 yards. But the more projects I looked at, the more I realized I really wish I had bought a second ball, because I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with it, but I have some ideas, and most of them are going to need just a little bit more yarn than one ball. So again, my favorite handy dandy Arkansas yarn shop, Hot Springs Fiber Company, to the rescue. They carried the same yarn, so I bought a second one. Now, they are not the exact same dye lot. One is dye lot 4 and the other is dye lot 3. But I'm not that worried about it. It looks pretty darn close to me. So I have 2, and I have some plans to make a cottony summer top out of this yarn someday. Let's see, what else is in this bag? Oh, I have one more thing. So this was another thing I rescued out of that storage container, and that was a bunch of needles and this cute little owl bag. So excuse me for a moment. There we go. I love this little cute owl bag, and I love to rescue. Remember, I told you a lot of that yarn was pulled out of half-finished projects, so these were the needles that were on those projects. My friend went back to the storage unit, and she said she found the lady's needle sack, like needle bag or storage container for her needles, and she promised to give them to me, but then she misplaced them. They're in she resells stuff and has like a little eclectic booth in a resale shop. So she's like, it's in my stuff somewhere. As soon as I see it, I'll bring it to you. So later I may have some more needles, but you can never have too many needles. I love needles. But yeah, that is all of the things that I have acquired since I talked to you last, in terms of yarn anyway. And I have some things to share with you. So it is a time for sharing. Alrighty, so I had a pretty good size shareable last month. We had, let's show you here. Well, I have this bag from the East Texas Fiber Festival to put it in for you. And I have this Queensland United foursome. I have these two hanks of this really lovely Chasqui yarn, which is 60% merino, 30% Pima cotton, and 10% linen, made in Peru, that my mom donated to give away. I have these two balls of Hayfield Soft Twist DK yarn. It's acrylic, and it came from England to give away. And we just accidentally made it all purple. That was just a fluke. And then I had bought this notebook from the Mineola League of the Arts. It was quilted by our quilters in the league, and they just put just a composition notebook in it, but they quilted this cute little cover for it with a little pocket. So I have that to give away. You can use it as a journal, or you can keep your knitting notes in it. I have this adorable watercolor card hand-painted by my friend Christine that says, "We love because he first loved us," 1 John 4:19. So hand-painted note card for you. And then I also have a couple other things. Cute little keychain. I love the little keychains. And this beautiful handmade knitted, like Viking knitting with wire bracelet. So all of these things, plus, because I've added something else since I saw you last, I have a cute little soap sack. A friend of mine crocheted a bunch of these, or she knit them. I'm not sure which. This is knitted or crocheted. I think it's crocheted. She crocheted a bunch of them and was like, here, give them away on your channel. So I have a little crocheted soap sack. I'm sorry I don't have any soap in it. I'll look around my house. If I have some cute soap, I can give you some soap too. But this is the shareable for one lucky duck to receive this month. And I'm going to put in the video with my lucky duck winner right here. All right, so congratulations, Jennifer Cooley, 133. You are the lucky duck this month. You need to send an email to the channel's email that is in the description box down below, and I will get your shareable out to you. I do not have a new shareable for this month. I told you I'm going to be sharing some advent calendars with you guys over the next few months, but none of them are ready for me to give away today. So I apologize. There's no new shareable this month, but come back in August. I should have one for you then. All right, so what is coming up? What's Loomin? As many of you know, the United States will be celebrating her 250th anniversary in just a few days on July 4th. So that is one thing that is been celebrated all year long, will probably continue to be celebrated for the rest of the year. That is coming up this weekend, and I'm excited about that. We're going to go out to the lake. A friend of ours has a friend who has a little lake house, and he has invited us to hang out with him for the 4th of July. So we're going to do that this weekend. I have kids camp and teen camp coming up at the Mineola League of the Arts. So kids camp is July 6th through 10th, and teen camp is the 20th through the 24th. I think all the spots are full, but I'm not certain. So if you're local and you're interested in getting your kid into an art camp, you should check out their website, Mineola League of the Arts. Just Google it. They'll come up. And see if they don't have any more kids camp opportunities. They have classes all the time, all year long. They have new classes in all kinds of arts. There's three-dimensional arts, woodworking, clay, pottery. They have wheels and kilns. There's mosaics and stained glass. There's quilting and knitting and crochet and weaving and tatting and rug hooking. And there's dancing. We have couples dance. We have line dance. There's painting, drawing, mixed media art. There's also a little gift shop at the Mineola League of the Arts if you'd like to just purchase art made by other people instead of do it yourself, or you can sell your art if you want to do that. Anyway, lots going on at Mineola League of the Arts. If you are local to East Texas, that is a hidden gem. You should check it out. Then our church, First Baptist Church of Lindale, has Vacation Bible School, July 15th through the 17th. So if you are local, again, and you want your child, kindergarten through 6th grade, you can sign them up for Vacation Bible School. I have helped with Vacation Bible School every year that we've had VBS since I joined the church. This is the first year I'm actually not going to be participating. I have gone back and forth on this. This was really hard for me, but I really felt like I just needed a break from VBS this year. It is a lot of work. It's a lot of talking, and as you can tell already tonight, I still have not fully recovered my voice from having lost it back in May. And I am going to be going to the Arkansas Yarn Crawl, which always happens the week after VBS, and my son is doing teen camp in Mineola, and I've been helping with kids camp, and I just felt like there was too much stuff going on in a 2-week span in July, and something had to go. So this year I decided to step back and take a break from VBS. But don't worry, someone else has stepped up and taken what I normally do and run with it, and VBS will still be awesome. And if you have kids VBS age, you should definitely go check that out. That brings me to the Arkansas Yarn Crawl, which is the 17th through the 25th in Arkansas. I will be at Hot Springs Fiber Company for some of that, possibly all of that. Honestly, I don't know. I will be in Arkansas for the whole yarn crawl with Tracy Anderson of Hot Springs Fiber Company. I don't actually know what we're doing when. I pretty much just buy a train ticket, show up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and hang out with Tracy for 10 days or so. So I don't know exactly where I'll be when, but I will be around Hot Springs for some, if not all, of that. And so if you are swinging by Hot Springs Fiber Company in Arkansas for the yarn crawl, come say hello. And then if you are interested in singing with the Singing Women of Texas East chapter, last year was our inaugural year, and this year is year 1, our first full season year, and registration for our choir is open. So if you are interested in that, I will put some information on how you can find out more about singing with us in the description box down below. We would love to have any like-minded ladies come join us in praising God this season. And then the last but not least thing that I want to talk about that's coming up is the Read and Crochet Along Part 7. So I know we are filming it in July. I think Part 7 comes out the 3rd Friday in July. If I'm lying to you, I will put the truth on the screen, but I think I'm telling you the truth. I think it comes out the 3rd Friday in July. So be on the lookout for Part 7 of the Read and Crochet Along. That is still going full speed. I am the one who designed the granny squares for Part 7. So if you don't like them, I'm sorry. This is my first foray into designing anything with crochet. So I had a lot of fun. I took inspiration from a lot of different things, and I hope you guys enjoy that. But that is coming up. If you have not participated in the Read and Crochet Along before now, this is a collaboration between myself and best-selling author Kathleen Fuller. So she has written over 60 books, and the Read and Crochet Along is a program where we take 6 of her novels and we read. I read all 6. You don't have to read all 6. You can read just the one. We have one that we're going to talk about, and then we have 6 total that we use. So you can read 1 or none or 6. You read what you want. And then we have granny squares that are designed based off of the covers, inspired by the covers. And so far, Kathleen Fuller's done all the designing for the granny squares. But like I said, for Part 7, I'm actually the one who designed those granny squares. So tutorials on how to crochet the granny squares are available on Kathleen Fuller Books and Hooks. That's her YouTube channel. Again, some people just want to crochet 1 or 2. Some people, like me, I crochet all 6. It's entirely up to you. This is just a really laid back crochet along. There's not any rules. There's not any prizes. There's not anything. It's just fun. I'd love to see any of your work. If you guys are doing any of the Read and Crochet Along, you can post it in my community tab. I would love to see it. I really want to start using my community tab more and more to talk about the things that I knit. I'm trying to kind of get away from Instagram and Facebook. I know that's what everybody likes to use, but I just can't track so many different forums, I guess. So I'd really like to kind of move over a lot of my yarn related stuff just onto my YouTube channel, where it's all in one place and I don't have to keep paying attention to too many different things. But you can post pictures if you are doing the reading crochet along on my community tab. I'd love to see your granny squares. And like I said, you read what you want, crochet what you want. We plan to do at least 10 parts, which would be 60 granny squares if you do all of them. And actually, it's a little bit more than that because I know we've had at least one bonus granny square. So 61 granny squares. But yeah, come join us for that. We take turns hosting the episodes, the main episodes. There's 8 weeks between episodes, so you've got plenty of time to read the book that we're going to discuss and to crochet one or more of the granny squares. I haven't had too much trouble reading all 6 books, but I read a lot. So actually I listen to a lot of audiobooks is what I really do. Oh, you guys, I was in line at the snow cone joint in town today, and the car in front of me had a decal on their window, and it said, "If I am in a car crash, please pause my audiobook." And I about died. My son was like, "Mom, you need that." I was like, "I do need that." So if anybody sees a bumper sticker or a decal that says that somewhere, please let me know where I can get that. I totally need one. But yeah, so lots of stuff going on, lots of stuff coming up. I hope you guys have a safe and happy 4th of July. We do not live in a perfect country, but we do not live in a perfect world. And all things considered, I am very, very grateful to be a citizen of the United States of America. My own stepmother is an immigrant. She is a citizen now. She did get her citizenship, but she is from Venezuela. And I visited Venezuela many times. It's a beautiful country, but it had, there are so many parts of the world where things are so much more difficult. And we are so very blessed here. And I am so grateful for our nation. And so today I'm going to close this in prayer, and I'm going to lift up, especially today, the leaders of our nation. And I hope that you'll join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we praise you because you are an awesome and amazing God. You bless us, you give us life, you give us breath. You plan the life out for each and every one of us, and you put us right where you need us, and then you call us to you, and we are so, so thankful for the many ways that you bless us. And specifically, Lord, I want to thank you for the nation of the United States. I know that every member of our nation does not always honor you, and every government leader does not always honor you. But from the beginning, this nation was a nation that did seek to honor and praise you. And I pray for the leaders that we have now, Lord, that they will seek to do your will in all things, and that you will protect our nation from our own sins and from our own evil desires, that you will allow us to continue to be a blessing to other nations around the world, and that you will just keep your hand around us. Keep guard over us. Do not remove your restraining hand from us. Do not give us over to our sin, Lord, but instead continue to be a force and a presence in our nation. In your Son's most precious name we pray. In Jesus' name, amen.